Can you describe the gap between how you guys perform at home and how you perform on the road, and how disturbing is this knowing that kind of the position you're in now?
Yeah, it's a huge difference, and really it's what this next week of preparation and honestly these next couple of weeks are about is figuring out what that difference is and trying to close that gap. Obviously, we'd love to come out, start like we play at home, produce like we do at home, but that just hadn't been the case. So we've got to find out what those answers are and try to close that gap. And we can't be those two different of a teams. You know what I mean? Winning like we do at home against obviously a good team last week, and then come out here today and just don't get anything done all the way around. I mean, in all three phases. But obviously, when myself, the offense doesn't start well, it doesn't help anything of it, any part of that, and allows them to continue to run the ball with the lead, and just makes it tough on everybody.
Can you remember being on a team where it's this pronounced this late in the season on a good team?
What do you mean?
Just the gap between the performance, just so.
No, I mean, but I also don't know if I've been on a team that's been as dominant as we have been at home. So to be able to put my finger on just that and say, I mean, I'd be reaching in that sense. So like I said, we know it's the same guys that are lining up. We've always taken pride in our communication. So there's some things I can tell you that we are doing right. That's not it. But I wish I could tell you right now. Wish I could have told you before this game. So we got to figure that out.
According to the Football Program, you guys clinched the playoff before the game. Did you know that? And does it mean anything on a day like today?
No, I didn't know that at all. Didn't pay attention to that. Don't care, to be honest. Obviously, coming into this thing, and I mean, beginning of the year, that's one of the goals. But as we've gotten to the latter part of the year with the way that we've been handling the season, we knew that was just a matter of time. So can check it off, but we've got other things to focus on, and I've continued to tell you all in different times that this is about us putting our best performance out each and every week, and today we simply didn't do that. And so that's where the concern and that's where the focus is right now, much more than us getting to the playoffs. Is we've got, 2 out of the 3, something like that, right, left on the road. So we know once we get to that point, that tournament point, obviously we're not helping ourselves with home field or anything like that like we did today. So it's about figuring out that gap and just making sure that we're trying to get better.
What was the miss with the offense in the passing game?
Missed one early. Boom. I think that obviously that can change the game right there alone. 7-7 to start it off, make that pass. Felt good coming out. Don't know if the wind was behind me or not. Part of it, though, right? You got to move on from that fast, and we didn't do that necessarily. And so didn't get some completions early. Put us down, right? They already had the 7-0 lead, then boom, they score again. And at that point, trying to play in a drop-back game in conditions like this is not going to be favorable. I can tell you that. And so they did a great job on defense, disguising for one, putting the top on it, making us play underneath. And as I said, it's going to be tough in conditions like this when they've got the lead, trying to have to just go drop back all game long. So they beat us with the formula.
Dak talks with ESPN. You guys haven't lost consecutive games all year, and it goes back maybe into the early part of last year. Why? Why have you guys been able to bounce back and not let one loss become another one?
Resiliency for one. I talk about the men in the locker room a lot. Credit the coaching staff a lot. And that's why I say I wish I could put my finger on what's the difference in the home team and the away team that we're approaching this thing. But it's about going and finding those answers. We've got some great problem solvers. We got men that know how to prepare, stay true to the process, not panic because things didn't go our way for one game. I think that's huge. And with those problem solvers, we'll get the answers we're looking for. We'll close that gap and plan to come out next week continuing that.
At the end of the game, it's 31-3, and you're still in there. Why is that important to you?
Huge. One for momentum, one just to get something going. Not many times have we not scored. Have I not scored in games? Led a drive. So that's demoralizing for one, just to be honest with you. And just needed to get something going. Needed to to get a drive going. Obviously, like I said, the conditions were tough, but wasn't going to use that as an excuse. Wanted to go back out there, and if it led to another one slipping out of my hands for an interception, hell be it. I was going to keep fighting, keep swinging, and that's really all I know.
And Joe White, Lone Star Live, obviously it's a game of adjustments, but how difficult is adjusting to something that's not schematic, kind of like the translation between home and away performance?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, it's probably one of the first times I've dealt with something like this. And we've got to embrace, I guess, more than anything, just being on the road, being, I guess you could say, the underdog, going into somebody else's territory. Something I've always enjoyed, honestly. Yeah, I wish I really had an answer. As I said, that would be what we do in these next couple of days, and when we get in Wednesday, I'm sure no different than the answers I try to find within myself individually, how I can help this offense make sure that we close that gap. I know the coaches will have answers as well, and then we'll get back to it. Maybe I've got more for you on Thursday.
I know you NBC DFW, when Zach Martin goes out, I know injuries are part of the game. Can you speak to the challenge involved when somebody who's that good and that important to your team is injured?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. As you just said, somebody that's good, best guard in the league, one of the best offensive linemen to play this game. When he leaves, I mean, he's a leader, leader amongst the group, amongst the team. I'm sure it's a little bit of air taken out of everybody, not just the offense, not just the O-line. But TJ did a good job of coming in, as you said, next man up, and and did his job, honestly. And so it was far more than just that position. It was far more than Zach going down, but that's obviously going to suck, and hopefully he can just get himself healed up and recovered and be back with us.
Ed Warder, ESPN. There's only been 2 games where you weren't competitive. This game and the 49er game. The 49er game, you said the thing that bothered you the most was you didn't respond, you didn't fight. Was that present in this game too, or did you feel it was different in this game?
No, I felt it was much different in this game from early. I mean, obviously you could say, yeah, the penalty hurt us after, saying to get the late hit on me, the penalty of those guys backing me up. But that's kind of the difference in those 2 games alone. We weren't doing that in San Fran. We didn't do that. We didn't have that response in San Fran. So proud of that, for one. Proud of the fight, the aggressiveness, staying that way. But we just didn't execute. And as I said, they beat us in the formula. I mean, they got up on us and continued to control the ball, control the possession, kill the clock. And we didn't convert on our third downs, which was something we've been great at all year. And then you look up, and I mean, I don't even know how many plays we had, but it doesn't feel like a lot. And yeah, I mean, that's been our way of winning the game. So they just beat us in the formula. They did a hell of a job of it, all 3 phases. We didn't help ourselves in the first half with some penalties. I missed the throw, right? That's 4 plays right there that those go the other way. Who knows what we're talking about right now? But that's the National Football League, especially when you're playing a team like this. That's competitive, that's fighting for a playoff spot right now, that's fighting for their season. Yeah, it's tough, and as good as a team we are, it's tough to overcome circumstances like that.
John Schroeder with The Athletic took some big hits in this game, including a couple of late hits, including one to the head. Did that have any impact into how you play today, and how are you feeling?
No, I feel great. No impact on how I played today. What you smiling about, man?
I'm just thinking of you.
Wish I could say they did.
31, I don't know if it was late third quarter or fourth quarter, we went deep, got sacked, and I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't y'all, it seemed like y'all were trying to get back in the game, you're just running and got a first down on the 3rd and 1 play. This time, guys, did y'all get greedy? Did you were trying to get back quick? Maybe it was the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a play, honestly. A lot of confidence in. When Coach sent it in, I was pumped about it. It's actually CD on a option route down the field. I think he made a decent decision. I obviously got to go back and look at it more. Just looked at stills on the iPad. But with that, had pressure up the middle. It was tough to just let that go. Obviously, trying to take care of the ball. Maybe that was a chance to put it out there and see what happens. But because it was an option route, it was a little tough for my decision making to happen at that point. Yeah, I mean, there's multiples. You know what I mean? I thought it was a good call. Thought they had a great call as well. Obviously playing zone, making a tough read for CD. Safety corner did a good job, and they just beat us up the middle, and it didn't go the way we planned.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Take care.
Thanks.